We've listened to your feedback, and now you have even more freedom to choose how you play the games you want.
Concerns about the ownership of digital media have been a thing since its inception.
You heard that right.
Even something like Steam was almost universally hated when it first came out. Unfortunately for the haters, the orange box contained several of the best games of all time, and if they wanted to experience them, they had to install the dumpster fire program that came with it. But Steam was not to go down in history as some lazily thrown together side project. They took that bare-bones platform, listened to feedback, and developed tons of great features over several years. Nowadays, Steam is considered the gold standard for digital storefronts, despite a few missteps and controversies. Yeah, they're not perfect, but still, you have to give Valve credit. They're not beholden to any shareholders, they're comprised of industry veterans who get to work on stuff they want to work on, and the face of the company is a scuba diving Santa Claus.
I get up, I work, I go scuba diving.
Below Steam, you've got services like these, which, for one reason or another, have been unable to eclipse Steam's success. Maybe the company has a history of screwing over their customers, or they're owned in part by another entity with suspect motives. Or maybe they've spent years slowly and painfully building up goodwill, only to throw it all away over a greedy decision. Then there's Netflix games. Which is an outlier in several ways. The games on Netflix can't be bought. You download the games you want for free and play as much as you want. And all you need to access these apps is a Netflix account. Let me show you how it works. Let's take a game like Braid. You just put in your email and password and bam, all your saves are right there, ready to go. That's weird. I thought I entered it correctly. New password here, maybe. No? Well, let's see here. What? Braid removed from Netflix? What? This is how I find out? How about you remove the defunct login screen? You don't even care enough about the game to do that? So what happens now? Is my save just gone forever? Okay, how about this? Let's buy the non-Netflix version from the App Store, load that up, and see if my save is still there. Oh, the game is just gone now. Okay. So an entire version of the game with unique rewind controls and commentary made specifically for this platform no longer exists. What the hell is going on here? Oh, look at these other games on the list too. I mean, Hades, considered to be one of the best games of all time, by the way, it's apparently not good enough for Netflix. Oh no, the Golden Idol games. I was in the middle of playing those. And they're gone. I mean, it goes without saying, this whole thing is a disaster. And after this, I can't recommend anyone check out a game through Netflix again, unless saves are not an issue. I mean, Hades has to be the worst example here. I mean, it's not just that it's critically acclaimed, it's about the time investment. You can't just buy the game on a different platform, start over with a fresh save, and, start playing as if everything is the same. Like, it took me about 150 hours over several months to get all the achievements in Hades on Steam. I forged friendships with characters. I invested tons of time and currency to permanently upgrade Zagreus, and over many, many defeats and victories, I changed the dynamic between my father, my mother, and the other gods. If that progress was randomly ripped away from me one day, I would be devastated. It'd be like losing a photo album in a fire. Now I see something like Into the Breach on the App Store, which, like Hades, is a roguelike, where your progress and save file is everything. I love Into the Breach, but why would I ever invest time in this version knowing what happened to Hades? When recommending great games like these to others, must I now tell them to avoid the Netflix version? The version on the device they're most likely to have? I was able to talk to one of the devs from the Golden Idol games about the deal with Netflix, and learn a bit more about what happened behind the scenes.
So the deal was prepared by our publisher, Playstack. On our part, we didn't have much to do with it. Only thing we did is to agree to the deal.
Did you? But you still had a choice. You could have said no if you wanted, but the deal was good, so you said yes?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
When it ended, did you have any kind of warning, or did it just kind of, you just saw it in the news or something, or did they tell you ahead of time?
No, we didn't know the news. We have a previous warning. Our game was removed along the I think 20 other titles, so apparently some change of strategy.
Okay, so basically it seems like the devs were paid to make a Netflix version. They did it, they got paid, and then Netflix eventually moved on. Just like how they would move on from a TV show or a movie. Now, I want to stress that Netflix did not do these guys dirty. Everything went down like it was supposed to. Netflix is happy, they got what they wanted. The Golden Idol devs are happy, they got what they wanted. And now it's just the contract has ended and the two parties are going their separate ways. And hey, Netflix is even allowing the devs to republish the game on mobile without the Netflix name.
Now that when it's taken down from Netflix games, we are working to bring it to mobile again.
It's pretty much a win-win for everyone. The only one who isn't happy is, I guess, me, the consumer, who lost access to my games and has to start over with a fresh save when the new one comes out.
Same game support and stuff like that is probably needs rework.
So now that this has happened, should developers continue to pursue deals with Netflix knowing this will be the result? I mean, I guess the money is good. On the Netflix version of Braid, which no longer exists, the devs of Braid and Storyteller talk a bit about the money side of things.
Back in the early days, you could release a game on iOS and actually sell it to people, or Android even, and sell it to people and make money, right? And you can't really do that now. And so one of the reasons I really like this Netflix deal is there's a way for us to make an actual acceptable amount of money, right, from releasing the game on these platforms, which means we could actually do the ports.
I mean, I like money. I like when people support what I do. I guess it's only fair that game devs should have avenues like Netflix who can support them for what they do. Okay, so let's think about where the problems are with Netflix and if they can be fixed to make the consumer happy too. Because frankly, I think they just expanded their games division too fast without the structure to back up these ideas. The original vision and offerings for games on Netflix was humble and made sense for the platform. There was a Puss in Boots storybook where you could choose the next scene that would play out.
Will you with a giant talk, or will you now be Goldilocks?
There was also this Black Mirror thing where you could go down different story paths. You know, like a choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Page 37, yeah.
These definitely stretched the definition of a game, but they played to the strengths of Netflix as a platform. They were essentially movies, and they were controlled by the remote you'd be using anyway. No need for any additional downloads or peripherals. Great. Then Netflix made their first big move. They put the Minecraft Telltale game on the Netflix app. Honestly, I thought this was a brilliant decision. The first Telltale games hit, The Walking Dead, started out more like a point-and-click adventure game. You know, gathering items and using them on things to progress. As more episodes of the game were released and Telltale refined their formula, the gameplay changed significantly. There were way fewer items to be used, and the gameplay mostly revolved around conversations and relationships, also known as the Kenny will remember that system.
We'll get this kid out of here.
We kick his ass. That's what I'm thinking.
By the final chapter, you were mostly limited to walking and talking, and I think that was a great choice. I love this game a lot, and I wanted to introduce it to my non-gamer, TV show-loving friends, but felt obligated to start them at that first chapter where the characters are established. Getting through that drugstore and finding those batteries is the ultimate buzzkill slog that definitely prevented a lot of non-gamers from experiencing all those unforgettable moments in the later chapters.
Hey, Ben.
Hey.
See you.
Yeah.
So, a game using the Minecraft IP where you just used a remote to select locations and select dialogue options, it sounded like a home run for a service like Netflix. And I think this Minecraft story mode game found a lot of success and motivated Netflix to continue exploring gameplay concepts for the service. They even got Telltale working on a potential Stranger Things game. Pretty good idea. Unfortunately, Telltale thought this would be a good time to accept 100 other project deals, nosedive in quality, and promptly implode and go bankrupt. RIP. A couple Telltale guys went on to form a new studio and put out a game called Dispatch. And they knocked it out of the park, by the way. But that's a video for another day. Anyway, the death of Telltale wouldn't stop Netflix. They would continue with the gaming idea, but now, instead of looking for new games that could be played through the Netflix app, they started getting into game publishing and putting out additional apps with the Netflix name attached. They bought their first game studio in 2021, and then started making licensing deals with other studios. And here we are. But it's been a bit of a bumpy road. It seems like Netflix wants to treat games just like movies or TV shows, where content can rotate in and out. But movies aren't games. Movies play out the exact same way every time. Movies don't have save data. Movies don't require skill or problem solving to finish. Movies don't take 100 hours to complete. Movies don't require you to download another app to watch them. And when a movie is removed from the service, Netflix actually removes it. They don't leave a lifeless husk behind. It doesn't make sense to remove a game like it does a movie or a show. Even though a lot of games aren't a great fit for the ecosystem Netflix wants, it's not totally hopeless. Just off the top of my head, something like Gone Home could work really well, right? It has low-stakes gameplay, a story that unfolds in a novel, compelling way, and you can beat the game in less time than it takes to binge a season of a new show. They should be looking for games that are story-heavy, contain less action and more puzzles, and are small enough that saves aren't a factor. Another idea is to lean harder into games for really little kids who may not care as much about saves. The other day, my 4-year-old daughter came in and asked for some money. Turns out that innocuous town sim game she was playing during breakfast had started making sales pitches. I'm thankful my daughter is aware enough to ask, but still, it's scary to think she's one screen away from blowing her college fund on JPEGs of dresses. This is a niche that Netflix actually fills really well. They claim that all their games have no in-app purchases, so I can download any of them and safely leave her with the iPad, unsupervised. As all parents should. Maybe Netflix should just give up on the hardcore gamers entirely and focus on the family angle. Of course, the ultimate solution would be to let people buy the games from Netflix. Remember Xbox Game Pass? Before the price increase drama, people liked Game Pass because you could play tons of these great games for a reasonable monthly subscription. And when a game left the service, your save still existed within the Xbox ecosystem. If you wanted to play that save, you could still buy the game normally from the store. Netflix has the save system, but it doesn't have the store. If a game leaves, your save may as well have been deleted too because it's trapped and there's no way to get it out. I don't know if Netflix cares enough about games to create their own separate ecosystem for them. I mean, they don't even care enough to outright sell the games on the Apple App Store. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've put more thought into this than Netflix ever will. So you know what? I don't care. I'm done. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got the art director behind the Golden Idol games on the hook, and a video on that game is what's next. In the meantime, you can support the channel by liking and subscribing, and letting me know what you think about the state of Netflix's gaming division in the comments below. Lastly, a huge thanks to all my patrons. Joining gets you access to exclusive videos, developer interviews, and behind-the-scenes content. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And even some throwaway characters, people tend to start to love them. That character, he has two lines in. People are immediately glad to see characters again, even that the character does nothing, or even character is evil.
Right.
But still.